I have to admit, for those on YouTube had me beat. I posted many videos of Metal Gear Solid, hardly any views. But I post one video for an update on EX-Vemon, everybody jumps right to it. Okay, I get it. I get the picture. You guys don't like my other streams. Welcome back, fellow YouTube tamers. This is your King Willix speaking, and we're playing Digimon Masters Online. Here we go. There is no song for this whatsoever. I think I know why. I disabled it. Forgot about that. So, yeah, whenever I did the update, there was a zero experience a day. And it told me if I logged in, I would have at least 100 EXP bonus today if I logged in. Only today. Now tomorrow there's going to be an EXP bonus of 200 if I log in. So I'm feeling pretty good about this because I gotta get Paladin up to 55 today so that he can actually, you know, have fighter mode activated. Because all we have right now is his dragon mode, and his fighter mode is going to be at one more level. Now, both of us are at 54, so I have no problem with that. I just feel lucky enough to actually get a growth fruit last night, which was pretty surprising. Now, I'm not so sure how many of you are watching this right now, but if you're in the Omnimon server, shout AO. But, yeah. I have, well, currently, whoops, I died. First death. I'm not doing so well. So, I have, Ragermon here. If I ever needed him. However, I do strain the idea, and I do mean strain, about having ride mode on the dragon mode. I think that's what it was called. I can't remember, it's been a while. Yes, a while. Okay, picture if you will, my brain doesn't work as well as everybody else's. And I keep stressing that because, you know. So I keep continuing on with other things, such as trying to get things started with questings and stuff. How is it that the black hearts are only found on Lilymon and not Queen Chessmon? Because I feel like that's a trap right there. Because Queen Chessmon and Devimon both give red hearts. One of them should be given a black heart. Oh boy. I just feel like this mission or quest, whatever you have it, is backwards. And I do mean backwards. I did have a lot of questions last night. Some people referred to me to the description of the items. The questions that I had last night did not fit the description in the items. Let me give you a demonstration of what I'm talking about here. These, I'm not even sure if they're permanent or not. They do say new tamer skill. So if they are permanent, please let me know in a whisper or in a shout in local chat. If you're in File Island, shout it out. If you're anywhere else other than File Island, especially Waterfront, send me a whisper. I would like to know this. Because I've had issues before, and it's been bugging me since that these items are just appearing out of this event only, and I'm not even sure why it's limited. Same with the eggs thing. It's like, I thought those were a bit yeah, abilities as well. And I only thought so because the abilities that just came out. It's like, if you were able to pick up like 2 mercenary eggs off of any Digimon whatsoever, that would have been sweet. In fact, I may have misread that completely, and somebody set me straight on that subject last night of the matter. Thankfully that they did, because I would have gone completely the wrong way with that. So yeah. Oh, and other news. I got Duke Nukem Forever recently. And I've been reading and watching people's remarks about that game. It's like, so yeah, this game came out, I think it was like in 2011. And it has been in the making for 12 years, I'm guessing. And the reason why I'm guessing it took so long is because the original composure to that game was meant for like PlayStation, like the original PlayStation. And at the time, PlayStation 2 was out at that time, and it was so out that it was pretty much outdated. PlayStation 3 was taking its place, and then out came PlayStation 4. Well, I guess they put a stopper to making more consoles because both Microsoft and Sony decided to put a hold on their future consoles. The only one that came out was the Nintendo Switch, which pretty much is famous for right now. Somehow. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the only mobile game played all over the world as of today. And yes, there is a bit of controversy because people have that itch that needed scratched. Because if you're like playing the PlayStation 4, you could play Horizon Zero Dawn, which has that same scratch. And if you have Nintendo Switch, all you had to do was play Breath of the Wild. So I was like, okay, so yeah, that's something. Because somebody brought that up to me on YouTube. Well, not just me, but to their entire audience. Because I was watching videos about the subject. And I can't remember who it was that posted the video. Oh, it was Far From Subtle. And for some reason, I'm still blocked from their Twitch channel. But anyway, yeah, they were saying something about having itch to scratch, and that by all means by like cooking, crafting, open world hunting, and so on and so forth. It's not a bad idea. All things considering, the games that came out these days, 2017 is really blowing up. Except for a few bad news. For Sony, they are dropping the Vita, which is pretty much an old handheld console that, you know, pretty much deserves to be dropped, and they're also dropping the PlayStation 3. Now, the reason why this was causing such controversy is because PlayStation 1... Is it? No, PlayStation 4. I was thinking Xbox One and PlayStation. Anyway, so PlayStation 4 had issues with connectivity throughout the globe. And the only people who would actually have the greater access to it is those from America and other public domains. And yeah, they had like an argument about certain areas with poor connection and such as, or something like that. And some speaker came out and read the comment and gave a feedback saying, well, if you can't handle PlayStation 4, stick to PlayStation 3 instead, or was it Xbox One to Xbox 360? I think it was the Xbox yeah. I can't remember anymore. It's been a while. But yeah, PlayStation Connect was a big ordeal for PlayStation 3, and I believe they continued it in the PlayStation 4 series, but something went around to going back into the previous consoles before it because some people couldn't handle the connectivity, or the current connectivity. And I wouldn't blame them because there has been a lot of unneeded controversy. And I can see the reason why. Because the developers cannot see the connection that they have with their fans. And from what I'm gathering, they ran out of so many good ideas that it went into that one system. So, I don't know. And according to local sources, they're now adapting to putting digital downloads of their games to PlayStation Now. I think that's right, but I'm not so sure. But Nintendo has a market of, a global scale, and they're doing pretty well for that one sale. All because of Breath of the Wild. They need to have like more games like Mario, Metroid, and so on and so forth around the Zelda or Legend of Zelda titles. Because there has been such nostalgic people out there waiting for the next Super Mario Smash Bros. Game. Or something like that. I have been waiting for the Metroid Prime games to return, but the only one I've seen return was like the one with Mother Brain. The Rebirth of Super Metroid. I don't know. Something around there. But yeah, there hasn't been any good titles coming from anywhere else but Sony and Nintendo. Well, Nintendo only has one coming out so far, but we'll see where the rest goes as soon as, we hit the center of the year. And this year alone has been fluctuating in the weather. Everybody keeps saying this year winter would be worse. And it hasn't been worse. It's been on and off, and it's making people sick. So, yeah, I can understand why people were so worried about it being worse this year, other than colder weather. And some people blamed global warming. And then we had Arnold Schwarzenegger do a commercial about less meat, less heat for global warming. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that? But yeah, it's ridiculous. This year just exploded out of nowhere. Pretty epically random. I can say so myself. I mean, we had a lot of good titles coming out this year. One of them, which was The Last Guardian, Horizon Zero Dawn. I can't say for a fact if it was Uncharted 4, because Uncharted 4 has been out for a while, and I think it only came out like early 2016. So, yeah. So there's Guardian, or The Last Guardian, Horizon Zero Dawn. I can't remember what else. But anyway, those are PlayStation titles. And they have been coming out quite frequently. this year. Xbox didn't have any new titles coming out that I've seen so far. But Nintendo's release was only for the Breath of the Wild. And that, for me, was lacking. It's like I said, it lacked Super Mario. Was there a new title for Super Mario? Well, if there was, I missed it. There needed to be a new title for Metroid. And see, there's Zelda. A new one for Mario, a new one for Metroid, and I forget what other. But yeah, it's hard to keep track anymore. Because lately I haven't been able to think straight. All I have been doing lately was trying to stream some of my favorite games, trying to get them up and on a playlist somewhere, so that I have more hardcore titles on my repertoire. And then, ooh, wait, I have an idea. It just reached 500. I'm going to use this. Yeah, I wanted to get Sonic out there, I wanted to get Portal out there, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Rising, and anything that I have on my Steam library right now, I wanted to put out on a playlist so that I had somewhat of good commentary going on for at least those titles, and explain how soullex and I came up with such strategies to beat the game, or those games. And also, we're planning on doing a additional series for EX Pro Gaming, which was for like anime. And I know some of you may be wondering, what kind of anime titles were you thinking of? Naruto was one. Dragon Ball Xenoverse was two. And soullex, I don't know if he wants to do One Piece on his channel or not. That's all up to him. I don't control his channel or have him as a employee. No. Both him and I are partners in this endeavor, because we're working together to put X Pro Gaming up. EX Pro Gaming. And we'll explain everything in due time with much more detail. In fact, he's a better explainer than I am at this point. So, yeah. I mean, everybody who knows us so far knows that we both met on DMO. And we have pretty much considered ourselves as brothers at this point in time. So, soullex was once known as Soulless, and he ended up changing his name just to get away from all the numbering and stuff, just to have somewhat of a unique title, like mine. I mean, you know. And the reason why I went with the title King is because, well, I'm the leader of the guild. I have the High Royal Knight for a partner. And I thought that was funny. It's good, no doubt, but I mean, I think myself no higher than anyone else, because everybody knows that I stuck out for them and helping them out with quests and all that. But it's like, draining at times to where it's like somebody says they want to help you out, but they turn around and said, this is getting boring, I want to go do something else, and they turn around and do something else. This is the reason why I do what I do, to help everyone else out that I can help, just to lend them a helping hand. Well, that did not vote for or well for others, because when it came down to, you know, getting like getting rid of bots, apparently Lunith told me that the people who created Blue Eye figured out the same day that they came out with macro protection how to handle the puzzle solving. Well, some people didn't have that programmed in right away. In fact, it was an added program to put in with the macro itself. And I've suggested to Game King if they would actually upgrade their macro protection each year. And they said that they would consider the suggestion, but they're not so sure if they're going to handle that in the near future, which is going to be like this year or so. And I sat here and I facepalmed myself, and I for a fact know that they are working as hard as they can. I mean, they don't have many people helping them out in this or any other server. And it is the same bunch who works for the global servers and in the Japan servers. And right now JDMO doesn't need more people from this or these servers going on their servers, because they've eventually came up with an IP ban if anyone caught speaking English in their servers. They'll have their permissions blocked for some time. And yeah, I chose not to go there. I told everybody that I knew, as far as the ones that told me that they were going over to KDMO, that I'm staying where I am. I do not need block from any server. I don't need any problems from any other, personnel, because eventually in time we'll have everything that they do in a moment's notice. And as far as you've seen, we have all the armor Digimon, you have all the spirit Digimon, you have almost every single Jogress known to KDMO. In fact, there's at least a few missing things, but that's alright, because I don't need those things as much as the next person, because I'm in no rush to, bother just to put a rush on things. Because there's like a lot of people being like, well, if we can't talk to people at JDMO or KDMO, there's no point in being in GDMO. I'm like, dude, relax. It just takes time. No one understands what pressure people have to deal with on a daily basis. Like I said, they have like limited resources, limited people working on each server, and they can't bother with like all these questions and gaps all the time. It's like there's only a certain day some people can come on, log into their accounts, start answering questions and dealing with reports. It's pretty much the reason why they took the report page down, because they couldn't handle the repeated slander. It's like, you either fix this or we're leaving. It's like, you'll be back. And eventually they did come back, so I don't see any problems with why people can't, have patience. It only takes time. Forgot what I was going to say after that, but yeah. That. Okay, I got 2 more of these guys to finish off. Then I should be alright. Are these... These are the 100s, I don't really need them. I don't need these. I think I'm good here. Oh yeah. And while working on the series, we are planning to put up a merch shop. Any ideas or suggestions on how to get that started, please let me know in the chat on the side, or if on YouTube, the comments below, because I am eager, so eager to find out how to deal with that so we can actually have some support our way. It just feels slacking, like having to do this multiple days without having any energy at all to, you know, keep it up. But on the frequent note, there is high levels of energy coming from the video that I just put up just last night, or rather this morning, about an update. 26 people jumped on that video. No comments, no ratings, which, you know, shocks me, because when you see 26 people viewing a video, why not? What are you doing with your time? I mean, I don't mind, you know, sitting here, you know, talking about stuff, but I don't want to waste anybody's time if they're not going to rate, comment, and or subscribe. No, I'm kidding. He was laughing at me too. So, yeah, I'm going to stop for a little bit. I'm going to go take a bathroom break, and I'll be right back. Stay tuned for more Digimon Masters Online and more to discuss in a few hot seconds. Welcome back, fellow tamers. This is your Gang Willick speaking, and we are on a roll with a 500 bonus today. So, what was I going to say? Something about... yeah, I can't remember. Well, anyway, we got to deal with an annoyance. Because I got to find the Queen Chessmon, which is very annoying to keep switching channels just to look for it, and somebody else taking the kill. And the less annoying part of the day, or today, is the fact that we have less than 20 channels on Waterfront right now. We have this place swarming with tamers on a periodic table, farming up EXP from the Digimon on top of the mountain. Excuse me. So it's like very hard to farm or grind for EXP here. The reason why that I haven't been doing that lately is because, well, I was on my break. Near. Oh yeah. Final Fantasy 15 came out, which, you know, everybody had difference of opinion, and it was 50-50 even, because some people did not like how short the story was. And it wasn't just Final Fantasy 15. That occurred for Metal Gear Solid and other games as well. And I don't get why people want to brag about that so much. I mean, a story is a story. But yeah, on the competitive edge, it's like Konami did not let Kojima go on with the long story that he had in mind for the Phantom Pain. And in a way, I could see why. because at the beginning of the game we experienced some color changes due to seizures, and Kojima noticed or researched something about that in the sight of, what could be some color blindness to red. And as it sits, red can become white somehow. So when it came down to a battle with Eli, and everybody knows this from now because they went back on YouTube and searched up what the story could be like if the game was actually in full version. And if you have not done that, go do or pause this video, go do that now, and then come back and I'll explain the rest. 2 seconds and pause. You back? Okay. So, in the fight with Eli, you had to deal with kids running away while seeing you on sight. Eli jumps off the Metal Gear and starts charging after you. Well, after you put him down by CQC, and then all of a sudden XOF swarms in and starts I don't know if I should say picking up children for whatever reason, but Snake accidentally shoots Eli, and just by the thought of killing his own son, he screams about it, and he should have known right then and there that Eli would have had a bulletproof chest, knowing the risks of being shot. But he did not know that he would have to deal with his father having these seizures. And seizures run into my family. I've never had one, surprisingly. So I couldn't, be so sure of the specifics, because it's seizures. And the only people in my family that I've known that had it is my grandfather, my grandmother, my brother, and my mother. That's about it. But me, no. I was one of those special cases. Due to the fact of being smacked in the head so many times, my pathway of thinking took a steep learning curve took a steep run downhill as my learning curve disappeared. So my ability to learn or pick up things a lot faster like everybody else has wasn't so for me, because my learning ability was like lacking in the speed of everyone else's. So I had to deal with the possibility of being bullied, picked on quite frequently, and so on and so forth. And soullex just found out that I read at a 2nd grade level. And for me, that is kind of embarrassing, even though it's not my fault. And he noticed this. He knows this. And he's bearing with me, not only for loyalty, but for the fact that, people have problems, and I have a major one. And I've been trying to deal with it. So he became my broken English interpreter, in a manner of speaking. So anything I say, he'll say again in a different way, or in a better term, for those who speak proper English. Because my brain forgets a lot of, common words, and I have so many spelling errors. And ever since 2005, ever since I came on YouTube, Everybody's been picking on me about my grammar. And it's nothing to make fun of. It's like people fat shaming other people on YouTube, like Boogie2988. And indeed, that is wrong. Nobody should fat shame because you accomplish nothing by doing so. And just because people read at a second grade level does not mean that you should, shame them as well, because, people have their issues. Mine has a lot to do with abuse. And I'm not making up excuses, I'm stating a fact. It's something I grew up with, and something that I've accepted since I was 13. Ironic, I'm 31 now. And if you haven't found the irony out of that, well, put a mirror beside the number, you'll figure it out. Wait. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, and there's a common factor in my forgetfulness as well. If I start talking about something and my ADD drives my attention away from that topic, and I just died. I get distracted way too easily, and I forget what I was talking about. So, yeah, forgetfulness follows into that category as well. And soullex laughs at the fact that it could be a possibility that it's from old age. I have to laugh at that. All due to the fact that it's not because of old age. And yes, I would wish it was because of old age. That way I would feel much more normal than I am now. So, with that said, I'm happy to be where I am right now. Is Queen Chessmon here? No, she's not. How about on channel 5? Queenie, where are you? Oh, there you are. Didn't I invite you to party? I need your help here. Okay, so you're not going to help me. Oh crap. Of course they attack after I die. Ugh. Things like that make my brain hurt. Forget it. I give up. Is it really worth the stress? Is it really? I mean, yeah, I got my 5x5 this morning, but come on. Do I really need the stress? Anyway, I'll come back again when I'm more chill. This is your King Willix. We'll play DMO again in the next time. See you in the next video. Peace.
Let go of everything.